Hey, there we go. Right. Cool. Up and running. Microphone. Audio check. Screen is working. I pressed the go live button today. Yay. Right. We're off to a good start. What day is it? Thursday. Okay. Right. Let me jiggle my windows around. Oh, goodness. What a mess. What a mess. Hello, Andrea, Design Dynamo. Good to see you again. Paul Dixon. Zach. Sarah, hey, good to see you again. Aditya, no. The True Time Designer, hey, Kevin, how you doing, man? Oh, it's been a minute. Sema, Svapandashi, Reese, Sir Lallington, good to see you, sir. Key in the ignition to the weekend vibes. Love Thursdays, amazing. So, Mr. Mike Phelps, hey, we've got the regulars in today. Right, fantastic. I mean, I wing this Thursday, Friday stream, whatever we normally do. The second stream in the week, I always kind of wing it, design some stuff. Really, really interesting reviewing the CVs. When was it? Yesterday, actually. So if you want to see more of that, I got sent loads more CVs. If you do want to see more of that, do let me know, whether it's now or in the comments on videos, just what you want to see, because I mean, I'll review anything, but I found it really interesting, and I think I got the impression a lot of people found it interesting as well. CVs or resumes are one of those things that we don't really ever, at least I didn't get taught how to do and how to do well. Yeah, it is kind of, you know, pretty crucial in landing a design role. And Reese says Luke's V3. Reese, mate, this is I don't even know what version this is. Look at this. Do you know, when this logo is finally done, if that ever happens, I'm just going to print this whole thing out, just giant size, you know, 3 meters high and wide, and just frame it somewhere. But yeah, this is okay. So this is where it ended up at the end of last stream. That was kind of the direction it was going. And then I sort of played around a bit more, gave the cup a bit more, whatever the word is, I don't know, words, you know, a bit more to the side, bit more of like a lip on the cup where the lid kind of connects, and yeah, playing around with negative space a bit to kind of add some more definition, but it's getting there. It's a slow burn, this one, I think. John, I've been lurking here on your live vids for a while, and I just wanted to say hi, great content. Hey, John. You lurker. Oh, no. Thank you for joining them. I really do appreciate that. Moosh, aka Michelle. Back to Luke's Endless Coffee. Yeah. I mean, if this does get a bit tiresome doing the coffee over and over again, honestly, just let me know. We can do something else. Like I say, these second streams aren't really set in stone. We might play around with this. You know, we might end up chatting. If you wanted me to review some more CVs, we can do that as well. You know, I'm pretty easy. I got my sparkling water here, so you know what I mean. It's gonna be a chill one, I think. Pretty good, Dan. Got into UX these days. Glad to be back here. UX, nice. What type of UX design is that? Is that still kind of the more visual side of things, or is that kind of, you know, hardcore UX, psychology, IA, that kind of stuff? Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry, I misunderstood that, Reese. I think it's Luke's stream version 3. You've done loads off stream. Yeah. Is it the third stream of this? It feels like 10 at this point. How do we submit things for critique? So usually the first stream of the week, Adam, that is more the design review. And if you join those streams, they're normally on a Wednesday now at 3 p.m. UK time. What I'll do is I'll post a link there and then, and people kind of just pile in with their designs on stream. Oh, today I accidentally accepted your drive request link to commenter instead of editor for resume. That's fine. I was able to download it anyway. So a lot of people did email me their resume after the stream the other day. Obviously, I couldn't get to all of them. So I've kind of piled them in a folder. And so if you'd like to see more reviews of that, then I've got plenty more to work through. Okay, you like the cup lip. Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think it's on the right track now. It's getting there. I think I will look at the font again. I don't hate it, and I feel like this could translate quite nicely into a logo that works in a variety of different use cases. You know, it doesn't have to be stacked in 3. This could be one line as well. Wait, what am I doing? Ah, no, that top word there. That is not editable. Oh, of course, because I tinkered with the apostrophe. But yeah, you could have that on one line as well. This could be used to make a pattern. So, for example, I could have this and I could have different patterns on the cup. So stripes, stars, spots, like polka dots. I could change the ice for a straw or for a drink and then just have a whole variety of them and just generate that into a pattern, which would be kind of cool, actually. That would be pretty cool to sort of build this out beyond just the logo. So maybe we'll get to that on like stream number 9 or something. Also, slight bit of news, but not necessarily the most interesting. I'm going to be moving studio probably in the next week and a half, I think. It's one of those things that I'm kind of moving. I sort of live in I kind of rent a 2-bedroom bungalow, and I've just kind of converted that into a studio essentially. But I only really sit in the room I'm in now, and it's this relatively small room. So I'm downsizing from this massive place that I honestly don't really use into a small office space. So it probably won't look too much different to what you see, like with me just sat in the corner here, but it'll be good. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, looking forward to that. And Josie says no one can stop this Luke's Nice Coffee now. Michelle, I don't mind it. I'm just giving you crap. It's all right. I'm used to getting crap, as you've probably seen from Poppy and my eldest Leo. They like to dish out a little bit of casual abuse every now and then. Can you do caricatures? Not really something I do. I think if you said to me, you know, do a caricature and do it, or else I could do one, but because it's not, especially if it's more illustrative, that's not what I do regularly. So there's certain types of design that I don't do regularly, but I can do them. It just takes me a lot longer to kind of do them because it's not my bread and butter, so to speak. Where is the design with the straw in the glass? It was my favorite. Oh, Sema, I think we do have a straw. Back along, as we say, I think in the West Country. Back along? Yeah, I don't think that's considered particularly good grammar by most English standards. Got some fun. Anyone from Bristol? Anyone here from Bristol? I live pretty close to Bristol, and there's a few things they say in around Somerset and Bristol where I live that just I still find them absolute nonsense. Like there's a kind of Bristol phrase where people go "Arkee," and it's oh, look at him. So you can kind of hear it, but it's to me it's still like, oh, okay. It's just noise. Kind of like in Hot Fuzz. If you've seen Hot Fuzz, you'll know what I'm talking about with the farmer when he just talks unintelligible nonsense. You do get some people that talk like that, and it's difficult to understand. So Lallington, Dansky, your course was excellent. Really motivated me to get cracking. You should also market it to veteran designers to help them increase their workflow speed. Lots of gems throughout the course. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Yeah, the course, I think it was kind of sort of, I tried to market it to everyone because, yeah, that, like you say, there's a lot of stuff in there that I would consider quite advanced. And there's also the fact that the course takes you from a complete beginner as well. So if you've never opened up or even installed Illustrator, you can start there as well. So, but yeah, no, I really do appreciate you saying that. In fact, speaking of the course, hang on. So if anyone wants to know what I'm talking about, I do actually have an Adobe Illustrator Masterclass, and it will teach you everything I know about Adobe Illustrator. So like I say, if you're a beginner and you want to just learn Illustrator as fast as possible, start designing rather than just spend years learning. You just want to get in, start designing stuff, and sidestep all of the mistakes that I made for like the last, well, years. I've made so many mistakes. Then this course will help you do that. And you also basically get direct access to me as well. So if you want to DM me with a question anytime, any day of the week, you can basically get in touch and I will help you out. And if that sounds good, do not forget to use this because it is a 15% off discount code. And yes, so that is the course. James isn't here today, so I'm going to have to remember to do my own segues. Ugh, got to do my own marketing now. Sucks. I don't know if Poppy's going to be here or not, Sema. We'll have to see if she graces us with her presence. Okay, so no caricatures, but can you juggle 3 or more items for us? Do you know, Mike, I can actually juggle. I'm just looking around the room. Do I juggle the cans of drink? Probably not. Do I pick up the mug? Probably not as well. If I could... what do we got? Socks. Hang on. Let me see if I can... I'm just contemplating whether to juggle the Apple Magic Mouse, but then I don't want to drop it on the floor. We don't really have juggling balls in this room. I've only got, you know, technology. Oh, this is such a terrible idea. Right, we're going to juggle the AirPods, the charger, and the bell. All right, we'll see how this goes, okay? I've not done this for a while. This is such a terrible idea. There we go. Like a performing monkey. And I didn't drop anything. Excellent. Fantastic. There we go. That's a stream. Mike, I was expecting that to go horribly wrong, mate. I was like, these AirPods are going on the floor. There we go. I can add that to my my CV now. Professional circus performer. Oh dear. Finally, a relief that I'm not the only one whose logo design canvas doesn't look clean. Oh goodness, no. No. This thing just, I mean, it you know, it is what it is. It goes off on a mind of its own. For some reason, at the very beginning, that was the kind of first stream, pretty much, and it started off all small, and then just everything seemed to get larger, and all of a sudden, that 9,000 pixel squared artboard just didn't seem like enough space. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, this is the current design. Thoughts? Yay, nay? Do you like it? What would you change, improve? Any more details? Maybe there's some more details to add to the cup in particular. I feel like it's heading in the right direction. This is now kind of vertical, or at least it should be. Yeah, oh yeah, pretty much spot on almost. Pretty vertical. So rather than having the cup like this, it kind of lines up with that left aligned text quite nicely as well. And it just looks a bit more fun, kind of, you know, tilting it to the side. Yeah, the ice looks okay. I've got to think about color as well. You know, is this just going to be a solid color? I think I'm kind of leaning that way a little bit, at least for the kind of main body. I could do something with the ice, but the main body, because I'm kind of using this negative space to sort of cut bits and pieces out and add detail, I think it would probably lean more towards being a single color. But yeah, what do you think? I can't use Apple mice. I love everything else Apple, not the mice. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that, Paul. I totally get that. I've got what is it? A Logitech MX Master 2S. It's one of their sort of more popular mice, and that in the other room, and that's really good. I use that for the PC. The main thing that drives me nuts about the Magic Mouse is the kind of scrolling touch sensitive area on the surface of the mouse can be so sensitive that you probably see me on stream sometimes. I'll be just doing something, and then the screen will fly across the screen, and I'll just end up somewhere else just because I moved my finger a bit too much. So, you know, yeah, I'll agree with you. It's not always ideal, and obviously the charging port being located on the bottom of the mouse, it does prohibit working somewhat. Haha, I can only clean up my canvas when presenting, throw all the other stuff outside the artboards. I really thought I would owe you $25. It's all right, Mike. I chose to take on the challenge. The risk is all mine. Right. Okay. I need some tunes. Let's get some music on. Let's get going. You can also always hide the artboard, Command or Control, Shift and H. Yeah, that is a very useful trick, actually. Let me show you. Yeah, so if you don't like having artboards in general, you can just have a big white mass of, well, everything. So that's a nifty shortcut. Yeah, juggling is the foremost skill for graphic designing. Yeah, didn't I mention all graphic designers should be able to juggle? I think I learned that in my last job, actually. There was a guy there who could juggle, and I just had a pair of juggling balls on the desk. And just every day I would just kind of play around with them for a few minutes, and suddenly one day it was like, oh, I can juggle. Paul says font change, I think. Aditya says, I believe the ice cube stroke can be more fat for better consistency. Yes, I would agree there. I feel like, yeah, you're right, actually. The ice cubes and the kind of body of the logo mark, they have a very different style at the minute. So let's get cracking. That's 20 minutes of me waffling on already. We've got some work to do now. Does anyone else design with an Apple Magic trackpad? I feel like I'm the only one. I don't personally, because I mostly work on my laptop, so I've got the trackpad there. But even with desktop, I kind of prefer a mouse, if I'm honest. MX Master 3 for the Mac is an absolute beast. Love mine. No other mouse will ever replace it. Oh, okay. So you'd recommend it then? That's a pretty glowing review, I think. MX Master 3. Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, Paul prefers a mouse as well. I can't tell you how many times my mouse dies. Plug it in for 30 seconds and see how much time that gives me. I feel your pain, Adam. There's been times where I've been trying to record a tutorial for YouTube and my mouse has like a 1% battery left. And I try and get it done, and then right towards the end of recording, the mouse dies. And it's like, are you serious? And you do it again and again. Yeah, I know. You charge it, get a few percent. You really like the straw, don't you, Selma? I'm not averse to the straw coming back. I think actually, in some ways, it would just help reinforce what this is. Go on then, let's grab the straw. Let's not discard the straw. Let's see if we can get it back in there. Right, and I rotated this at 16 degrees. So I think I might have mentioned before. Rotate tool, press return, and I'm going to rotate this back by, we'll go -16, just because it's much easier to work on everything while it's vertical. And then I can just rotate it to 16 degrees to the left once it's finished. Okay. I have a feeling I tried to do something with this before and it just wasn't quite happening. So let's let's try again. Let's see where we end up. Okay. Why doesn't Illustrator allow for infinite canvas artboards? Possibly file size management, I guess. Yeah, it could be. I think actually when you start, what is the maximum artboards with Illustrator? Is it 1,000? It's got to be more than 100, right? Yeah. It's either 100 or 1,000. I can't remember. I want to say 1,000. But if you've got 1,000 artboards, full of content, I dread to imagine how that performance is. So... Oh, Ali, hey, good to see you, man. How you doing? I'm just looking at the picture. Is that Ali from the Masterclass, yeah? Yeah, it sounds like the Master 3S is pretty popular. Pretty popular. I think it's one of those things that, yeah, it's a fair point. Why would you spend more when you could just get, a cheap mouse for a few dollars and it works fine? I think if you're going to be using it every single day, sometimes it's, people are like, okay, I want to invest in something that maybe has more buttons, more functionality, fits my hand, is super comfortable. I'm going to be using it 7-8 hours a day, so I'm going to get my money's worth, and it's going to last me for years. So, oh, it was replaced by the 3S. I freaking love my MX Master. Everyone seems to have the MX Master 3. Oh, and there's me with my 2S. I've been outdated. Bendy straw, maybe. Nice. I like it, Michelle. Very good. Bendy straw, bendy straw. Okay. That does require redrawing the straw, but okay. Unless... Could I... Let's see if I can not have to redraw the whole thing. We'll do it the lazy way, just to sort of get an idea. Hang on, let's get an image up. Drink bendy straw. Yeah, I think some of them, typically a straw can be depicted bending at a slightly more than a right angle. So yeah, we could do something like that. Maybe a bit more. I got to see how this is going to look actually when I rotate the whole thing. There we go. Yeah. So I've rotated it back by 16 degrees because I want to see how the straw angle is going to look. Nope. Minus 16. Yeah, so that might, in this instance, sit quite nicely being horizontal, actually. Ooh. Yeah, possibly. And I don't know, maybe because the straw has the same weight as the same stroke weight as the ice cubes, and it has fill colors as well. Maybe that straw could be a nice bridge between having the stroked elements and the elements with the solid fill. Maybe. I don't know if that makes me sound desperate, like I want it to work. I quite like the thinner stroke for the ice as it adds contrast, but maybe complement it with one of the words in a lighter stroke. Okay, so kind of link the typography a bit more. That could work, yeah. Maybe the word Luke's. Yeah, MX Master 3 fan club. Yeah, so that okay, yeah. So Paul, you've been using your MX Master 2S mouse for at least 3 years. So yeah, Reese says 6 days a week from 8 till 5. Yeah. So I don't know. It depends what's important to you, but yeah, I would totally be on the train of investing in something I'm going to use that much that will last me for years. How much is a? Hang on, hang on. Let's have a look. I'm going to look this up on Amazon. MX Master. Is it 3 or 3S? Sorry, Reese. Is it 3S? Okay, £89 UK. So what would that be in dollars? 130 bucks, something like that, maybe. Don't tempt me. Hello, I like your design. Oh, thank you, Rifat. I think we're getting there. Yeah, that's a very good point, Aditya, as well. Sometimes we just like to buy fancy stuff. Hey, we just got to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we don't need it, we just want it because shiny things. Right, this ice cube might have to go. I'm just trying to figure out how I can get that in around the straw. Maybe if I lock the straw, take the ice cube, C for the scissor tool, and that enables me to make cuts on the path. So I can cut, and then I should be able to delete all these bits of path that run behind the straw. And yeah, that path, oops. That would go as well. Yeah. Now, of course, the straw's floating, which is not ideal. So let's get rid of that. Unlock less straw. Shimmy that down. Now, I kind of want the straw to disappear like the ice as well, so I might actually get rid of that bottom bit and just have it connect like that. Yeah, that feels like the straw's coming from the drink now. Okay. Let's move that bit. Oh, do you know what? That doesn't look too bad, actually. I think that is 100% definitely represented as a drink now. Like, I think it was before, but I think the fact that it's got a stripy straw in it, I think that's the clincher. Do I keep the ice behind or get rid of it? Does it even need the ice? Let's do a comparison. Right. What are we thinking about the styling of the ice? The styling of the ice is much more linear. The main body is a solid color. The straw is a mixture of both. Do you think that that straw helps bridge the gap between those two different styles? Oh, $99. Okay. If you flip the image, the apostrophe could be a drip from the straw, or is that too cliche? Flip the image. I don't know if it's going to reach. I know. I think I know what you mean. If we were to kind of extend the and then have the apostrophe dripping, it might be a bit of a stretch. Quite literally. Ali says, I like the mouse mostly because it's very quiet. This is some hardcore mouse conversation going on here. I think you should also design because our bombarded comments are distracting you from working. I think it's slightly on the Alex side with 2 cubes. Oh no. Yes, quite possibly actually. Now you've said that, I'm not going to unsee it. Hang on. Oh no. No. Great. Thanks for that. Design ruined. There's me with my innocent mind just designing ice cubes and a straw. Right. Okay. So the third ice cube has to stay then. You dirty lot. What are you like, eh? Disgraceful. I'm innocent, I swear. Demonetized. Okay, well, you know, I would have enjoyed kind of trying to remove the ice cube, but I guess it has to stay now in some capacity, right? I mean, I suppose you could make it a little bit, maybe a pinch bigger. I'm just thinking at smaller sizes, that ice cube might be a wee bit too small. Maybe that's, yeah, that could be a bit better. I'm happy with that. I mean, I quite like, yeah, I do like the addition of the straw. I quite like it straight as well, actually. Let's try another version. Let's try another version. That, let's put you back -16. Right. How could I connect this up? Just want to try something. Okay, you're not going to let me do that, are you? I could shade out the left part of each ice cube. I think I might have played around with this before. So it kind of acts as a sort of shadow, if you will. Ooh, yeah, maybe actually. I know it's a bit rough right now, but if I line that up, I think everything just hangs together a bit more now. Oh, I just bought the Masterclass. Looking forward to digging deeper into Illustrator. Adam Walker, you legend. Thank you so much. Hey, oh, that's so awesome. Thank you. Also, Adam, I don't know if I mentioned this enough on the page for the course, but if you ever have questions or you'd like me to kind of, you know, review your design work or your resume or anything, the Illustrator Masterclass basically includes that support from me. So it's not just a course, it's support from me as well. So if you do have any questions or you want me to review your resume anytime, honestly, just send it through in the community or email it to me and I'll check it out for you. Essentially, everyone who enrolls, I try to, like, everyone enrolling in the masterclass is supporting me as an educator, and then I'm just giving myself back as someone who can then support you as well. So that's why I bought it. Awesome. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. stream over. We've all lost our privileges today. With 2 ice cubes, it seems less heavy on the eyes. I think after recent events, that might be questionable. It depends how you define heavy on the eyes, I guess. Ali says that's much better. It needed the contrast in the ice cubes. Yeah, okay. Do you think that girls are majority in designing illustrations? I think because wherever I see illustrations in branding, mostly are done by girls. Haha, boys like minimalism more. I honestly don't know. It's an interesting question. I couldn't possibly answer that. I mean, when I'm sort of searching for illustration on YouTube, it just comes from a mix of people. Yeah, I think Lauren, we've got to keep it 3 cubes now. I daren't risk removing that cube at the back. That ice cube behind the straw is the only thing that's keeping this PG now. Definitely keep it 3 cubes, but maybe my mind's just too dirty. I think everyone in the chat's got a dirty mind. I'm the only innocent one here. Yeah, right. I'm going to run with this now. Okay, so I'm kind of, I'm eyeballing this at the minute, but that's fine. You know, I can finesse every single pixel once I've got a design that's looking good. I mean, typically, like, if I'm being completely honest, once you've zoomed in thousands of percent and you're lining up at this kind of crazy zoom level, when you zoom back out, it's gonna look pretty spot on. Although I've just realized, hang on, my window's not even, there we go, it wasn't even filling the screen. Yeah, I wonder why I couldn't see the zoom level at the bottom. Huh, Dan, you amateur. No, that's not going to work, is it? That ice, I don't know. Does that ice cube, I feel like it might need to follow the contour of the curve. So how am I going to do that? We are going to copy and paste that curve. Oops. And then if let's give it a red line. I love this trick. This trick is so useful. So essentially I've just created a copy of the curve, well, with the curvature I need. But just that one piece, and now I can go offset path. And if I increase this value positively, you can see here I can adjust the value until I get it in the right place where it's around the ice cube. So maybe about there somewhere. And then I can nudge it out, direct select tool away the bottom points, nudge it back. And I've got no idea what's happened there. So if you do whatever I've done here and mess this up, simply just go edit and cut. Sorry. Edit and copy rather. Undo until everything was fine. And then just paste it back in like that. Oh, does that reach? Let's see. Yeah, I feel like that looks all right, actually. I think just matching the curvature, just sort of, I don't know. I feel like it just fits a bit more. Just cheat that a little bit. Does that then need to run in? Or am I just getting a bit too over the top with it? Do you think the straw needs extending a bit? Just a wee bit short, nothing sexual. I think I would keep it short just for the web page height. If it's going to appear in a website header or a confined space, I don't want it to be too tall. So if anything, I would actually either keep it there or shorten it. If I do make it longer, for example, it's just there might be a few potential issues that might cause, you know? Oh, you like that one? Yeah. That path offset is a nifty trick, that one. Right, so we're going to do the same over here. So direct selection tool to just copy a segment. Command or Control F to paste it in. Let's get that as a line, or sorry, a stroke to be technically correct. And move that back into the right position. And if I go object path and offset again, it should remember that same value, which is cool. And then I can just delete those bottom points. I just need that one top line. And now I can just turn this into a big old white shape. I will need to actually extend this down now. So let's extend that. If you want to know how to go into outline mode to get this styleless wireframe, it's Command or Control Y. You can find it up here as well, outline. It's brilliant. It's the best mode to be in when you're solving problems, because you don't have to contend with stroke weights and other effects. You can actually see the raw geometry of what you're actually doing. Yeah, so that's okay. Bit of a kink there. Obviously, that ain't going to stand. So what I'll do is once the design's finished up, I can smooth that out with relative ease. It's looking good. Do you think anything needs to go on here? I mean, I don't know. I know I think, Paul, you suggested in the last stream about having was it like a snowflake or an icicle? Yeah, like a snowflake to represent cold, but where did I put that? I've definitely got a snowflake kicking around somewhere. There you are, you cheeky snowflake. I think that was to kind of sell the idea of iced coffee, but I think we've kind of covered that with the ice. I don't know. I feel like it just needs a circle there, but I don't know what to put in it. Yeah, I think probably a bit too icy now. Like if I had yeah, I don't know how an L would look in there. I'd love to put like an L for Luke's, but I don't know if it would really sit in that space. I think it's getting there though, isn't it? This is the most expensive stream I've watched recently. Bought the Masterclass and bought the MX Master 3S as well. Nice, Adam. Nice. Yeah, I've got an Amazon tab open with that mouse now. I'm feeling the FOMO pressure now. There's me with my 2S and everyone's saying how incredible the 3S is, how life-changing it is. They could never possibly use another mouse again. Looking at that Amazon page, like, damn it. I regret the straw cup idea. Hey, Sema, you wanted the straw. You've got the straw now, okay? I think the straw is here to stay. I just signed up for the masterclass. Oh my goodness. I have a bit of Illustrator knowledge, but can't wait to learn more. Oh, Chris. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Oh, wow. 2 people on the same stream. That's amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that has honestly made my day. Ha! I don't know what to say. That's so cool. Wow. Well, Chris, again, thank you so much. Same as I said to Adam. If you've ever got any questions, or would like me to review your work, or if I can help in any way, honestly, just let me know. Okay, I think it's time for a segue then. So this is the Adobe Illustrator Masterclass. Honestly, sorry, I'm in shock. I can't believe that. That's so cool. On the stream as well. So this is so inside the community, Adam, there's the different chat groups that you can go into. But from the top right corner of the community, there's a little message icon, and you can use that to DM me. Hang on, I'll send you a DM now. Whenever someone sends me a DM in the community, I get an email. So I'm not sure if it works the same way. It might do. But let me just, I'll jump in to the community right now, and I'll ping you a message. And see if you get an email. Okay. Adam. All right, message incoming, Adam. Ah, there you go. I see you type in. Hello. Found it. You beat me to it. Very good. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Adobe Illustrator Masterclass. It's my full course that teaches Illustrator from start to, well, everything that I know now pretty much. It's like 17 years of knowledge packed down into about 6 to 7 hours worth of video. And I think it's probably one of the fastest ways on the planet to learn Illustrator in its entirety. I don't know if it's possible to learn everything the course covers in a shorter amount of time. But if you are interested in learning Adobe Illustrator and just sidestepping the many mistakes that I spent years making, then this is the course. And there is a link for the discount code as well. My pleasure. I've been designing for about 14 years, but I have no doubt I can learn more from your class. Oh, amazing. Soundboard goals for masterclass signups. I need one of those what are they, those stream decks where you can assign different things and I'll see you later, Sema. Thank you for joining. Yeah, one of those stream decks where you can assign sounds and press buttons for things. It's dinner time. Enjoy, Zach. I have to leave. We'll watch what I missed this evening. Amazing. Catch you later, Sir Lallington. Can you add a water drop on the cup to give it the effect of being cold? Yeah, possibly. I think if I was going to add something here, I think I would want it to be something meaningful as well. Like, I don't want to just add too much stuff for the sake of it, because I don't want to over design the logo and detract from all the kind of detail up here. Like, I think the ice here, now we've added ice, I think the ice frozen snowflake symbol is a bit overkill personally, but I do like it with some, or maybe I could just have a circle like that. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. Hey Alexa, add an MX Master 3S in a stream deck. I don't have an Alexa here, so I'm safe. Oh, thank you, Adam. Hello from Czech Republic. Love your videos. Oh, right, you're not going. Sorry. I got excited, so I misread that. I got carried away. Hey, Roxy. Good to see you again. Mike says, I think the circle on the cup cuts the heaviness of the bottom, so it feels lighter, better, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good technical observation. Yeah. I can't explain why. I just feel like something is compelling me to put something in that space. And maybe, yeah, maybe, Mike, that's just what you said. It does maybe balance it. It just feels empty as just a blank circle, you know? Anyway, what is this? We've got some funky lines going on here. I think we're getting there, though. Right. I think we'll consider that some progress. We'll go up here. Right. Fonty McFonty fonts. Let's have a look. Luke's iced coffee. Right, let's look at some fonts. I've got like over 1,000 fonts, so this might take a while. If anyone has any suggestions for fonts that they think would fit this kind of theme, I think what I was going for before, where this font does quite well, is keeping it sans serif, but with some rounded edges or some slight imperfections that make it just feel a bit more personalized and a bit more playful. And that's why I kind of went with this one. I think it works quite well, but I'm definitely open to suggestions. I know sometimes you guys can put out some really, really good suggestions. Chris says maybe it's just a circle, but what if you add a symbol that represents what coffee gives you, or maybe a coffee bean? Yeah, okay. Okay, what yeah, what does what does coffee give you? A lot of energy. Kick up the arse in the morning? How do we represent that visually? Um I mean, well, I suppose actually, hang on. I've not been a massive fan of the coffee bean idea, but just before we do write that one off, what about drawing something like this? We'll just trim that off. Whoa, there we go. It could be something as subtle as that. We'll just chunk up the stroke weight. Yeah, maybe actually. Maybe I'll shut up. Maybe that is actually a good and subtle idea. I don't know. Not too specific that it distracts from anything else, but it's subtle, but it is also relevant. Nice one, Chris. Good. Very good. I think it needs some slight character added. Yeah, I agree, Mike. I think whatever font we go with needs to have some sort of character, personality. The poo. Hobo. Let's have a look. Hobu. Let's have a look. Oh wait, hang on. Let's try it. What do we got? I don't know how you say that. Hobo. Okay. Maybe not quite what I'm looking for. Well, that is along the lines. That is exactly the right thought process from what I'm looking for, but maybe not that one. When I'm kind of looking at different typefaces, I sort of get like a bit of a feel for if I like it or not. Let's do... So this coffee bean, I just quickly pencil tooled that. That's not going to work. We need something a bit more precise. So this, I think you might enjoy this little trick here. So if I draw a line and then go to effect, and we're going to add a ziggity zaggity, smooth, ridges per segment, drop it down. Now I can just play around with the height. So no more manual drawing. This is a more precise way of getting curves. So you can, of course, make this much longer if you want. And okay, let's say I want to exaggerate that a bit more. And then I just scale it down. Yeah, it's still a bit straight now. So and what I could do is I could expand the appearance of that effect, and then I've just got like a stroke that I can play around with. Is it going to curve as much as I want it to, though? I don't know. No, I think the other way before was probably better. So let's expand that one. There we go. There we go. That's a bit better. So at the moment, it's on a 45-degree angle. So if I rotate that round and then scale it up or down. There we go. I can play around with the curvature and scale it down a bit more again. Nice. There we go. Cool. And then just shape builder tool those ends off. 1, 2. And there we go. I know I've got that kind of symmetrical. We've got precision. All that good stuff that just absolutely has to be in there. Adjust the weight. Let's drag that back into the middle. Black stroke. Yep. And then we could rotate that. Ooh. Yeah, it might have to be symmetrical there. So what rotation would that be? I love using rectangles as guides. It feels really primitive. Yeah, we're good. Keep another version out over there. Pre-rotation. Right. Now I've got that in there. I could, of course, play around with the thickness if I wanted to. I'm happy with that. That looks pretty decent. I think that kind of ticks a lot of boxes. We got the cup, the straw, the ice, and the bean in there. So I feel like all this hardship is gradually becoming worth it, I think. Yeah, that's a good point, Sterling. I think, yeah, I think someone else suggested something similar as well, changing the word, changing one of the words at least to the outline. So it kind of has a bit more synergy with the other more linear parts of the logo mark. Lightning bolt, yeah, Lauren, that could be cool. All right, let's not rule anything out. Let's. So lightning bolt. This is super simple to draw. So if I want to move, if I try and move both these down, you can see they do snap sort of, but sometimes they don't when moving multiple anchor points. What you can do is move one in outline mode and it will snap. Select the other one, go to object and transform again, and it will repeat that move that you just did. Really nifty way to repeat an individual movement on an individual anchor point. So there we go. We got a lightning bolt. Let's pop that in there. Yeah, still leaning towards coffee bean, but always good to try. I suppose you could have that in the middle. A lightning bolt makes me think, and I don't know if this is just me, it makes me think a bit more of energy drink than coffee, but should the bean be smaller? I mean, it could be, yeah. We can make the bean smaller. Let's make that smaller. The bean could also be seen as an L. Maybe try a font that matches that. Yeah, I don't know if the bean in its current state looks like an L. I'm not seeing it personally. How about the bean shape, not circle? I can't do it, I'm afraid, Josie. I can't. I know what you mean, the little coffee bean shape. I mean, we don't have to have the coffee bean on there. Yeah, anyway, let's get back to this. Looks like Pepsi. Oh, yeah, there is that. Could the bean be less round, maybe? I think yeah, I see what you're saying. Could it be more coffee bean like? I think because there's so much symmetry going on here, to have anything that like a coffee bean that wouldn't necessarily be symmetrical would cause me a severe degree of stress. If you know what I mean. Yes, you could turn the O of coffee into a bean, but then I think because we have this detailed mark alongside the typography, I feel like you could end up over designing it. Normally I would, at least personally, I would say if you're going to have a logo, don't like have a logo mark with lots of detail and then add more design elements within the text. Maybe if it's subtle, for sure, but if we're sort of doing all this over here and then we're adding coffee beans into the letters and things, you will kind of end up with something that can be a bit over designed. Do you know what I mean? That's, yeah, Riffic. I think I used that actually on the first stream. The edges are a bit hard though. It's got the character, but the edges are a bit too hard. How about an icicle? Possibly. Shouldn't the bottom of the bean be slightly smaller to match the cup's perspective? Quite possibly, Michael. Quite possibly. Let's have a look. Okie dokie. So, how would I do that? Let's try free distort. Oh, yeah, but it ruins my circle, Mike. It ruins my circle. And it makes everything look a bit wonky. I mean, what do you guys think? Does that look better? Arguably, I guess you could say it's more coffee bean shape. Would a coffee bean in a circle be too much? I think I would probably keep it in this kind of style so it's still sort of playing around with that negative space a little bit. I like it more. Oh, okay. Well, hang on. Do you know what? I think you're right. I'm not okay. So what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna change the perspective per se, but what? Oops. What I am gonna do is stretch it out. Oops. Let's just stretch that up. So it's more coffee bean shape, but then rotate it so it's still symmetrical. Sorry, I see what you mean. I think I see what you mean. Yeah, for some reason I was imagining a coffee bean to be like. I was thinking of like a baked bean. Sorry, my fault. Everyone was saying should it be more coffee bean shaped, and I'm thinking like, this is what was in my head. I mean, I suppose you could get a coffee bean that's that shape. Looks like a pair of lips, doesn't it? There we go. This is where my true artistic talent can shine. There we go. That is me. Anyway. Okay. Also, totally random question. Is anyone playing Dragon's Dogma 2 when it comes out later? West Coast says it moves my eyeline down a little too far. The original felt more balanced. Yeah, not a kidney bean. Yeah, I think sorry. I think yeah, David, I was kind of getting mixed up between baked beans and kidney beans and all sorts of different beans. Jelly bean. Oh god. Oh dear. I clearly need to go to bean re-education camp. Right, what am I doing? Rotating this, aren't I? So Here we go. All right. I've got a new circle in now. Not kidney bean. More coffee bean. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Dan, you idiot. Yeah, so I think I don't know. I'm quite keen to keep that. I know technically the perspective is possibly not correct. But I definitely agree that having it now more oval is more bean-like, coffee bean specific. We love all beans here. All beans are equal. Hey friends, y'all rock, gotta run. Cheers, Reese. Catch you later, man. Chris Hackman, loving this. Excellent. Yeah, and if you're watching this, and I'm going quite quickly when I'm doing a lot of this stuff. If I'm going too fast and you want me to demonstrate a technique or just slow a bit down and talk through what I'm doing, I'm more than happy to do that. It's just because I'm so familiar with the tools that I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. So I don't mess around over here anymore. I just kind of keyboard shortcut my way through life, and it just makes things a lot faster. Hey, Danny, first time in a while. I know, it's been a while. Oh, good to see you. Turns out I'm not the only one who, when designing a logo, just turns the shape over and over again for a long time. I have friends. You do indeed. You are not alone. How often do you live stream? This is great. Oh, thank you, Sterling. Usually twice a week. I changed the day recently, so it's normally on a Wednesday and a Friday. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you heard earlier on, but I'm moving studio over the next weeks and months. And I don't think that's going to change the day too much. I think Wednesday and Friday is still a good day. Leo, my son, is in on Fridays with me as well. So he gets to kind of join in, and it's, yeah, I think it would be a pretty good time. And then sometimes I'll stream on random days as well. So I would like to stream more because I love doing this. But yes, to answer your question, twice a week at the moment. The Wednesday one is normally reviewing people's work that they submit, and then the today's stream, which is normally on a Friday, is it's a free for all. It's whatever it ends up being. What did I miss so far today? So this is like stream 3 or 4, I think now, something like that. What was it, Reese? Was it 3? Luke's iced coffee. The saga continues. Yeah, this is like part 3, I think, or something. And this logo started out here with iced coffee and ring pull. It got continued at an airport. It got continued while I was in the US. We had straws and milk splashes and melting ice and swirls and lots of fonts. And we ended up with that, which then ended up being that, which then just wasn't acceptable. And we ended up with lots of ideas that culminated in that. Whatever that is supposed to be, I'm not entirely sure, like a Minecraft birthday cake or something. And now we're going up this side of the right side of the artboard, and yeah, that's where we ended up at the end of the stream last time. And now we are here. We're getting there. We are getting there, one stream at a time. Okay, so there's the recap. Oh yeah, Leo loves watching the streams. Thanks for the info. You'll see my name pop up more often, and I'm definitely getting the masterclass. You rock, bro. Oh, thank you so much, Sterling. And yeah, I'll just say to you as well, if you do enroll, in fact, anyone who does enroll in the masterclass, as I've said, many times before, you are supporting me as an educator, and in turn, I will be there to support you. So if you have any questions or would like your work reviewed, or you're applying for a job and you want some pointers on your resume or interview tips or whatever it is, I've got 17 years of experience, and I will be here to help you. So it's not just the course, it's kind of me putting myself out there saying, hey, you're supporting me, I'll support you as well. So I'll just quickly, while I'm talking about it, there's the masterclass, and there is the link to get 15% off. I didn't ding the bell. There we go. Very cool to see the evolution of this. It's been a journey, yeah. It really has been a journey. And I like it as well. It's not only fun just looking back at the early designs and thinking, oh yeah, this was really like primitive. But I think, I mean, I don't know, maybe like I feel like it's good for other creatives to see all the failed attempts, the process, everything that goes into it. You know, it's very easy to look at a finished design and just think, wow, that's so good. And I know sometimes you can get inspired. Other times it can actually be quite discouraging. It's very easy to think, oh, you know, I'm rubbish. My design's not as good. Or, you know, the negative self-talk. We all do it. I know I have anyway. And actually, it's like this is the stuff you don't see. There's a lot of time and a lot of not failures, but designs that get scrapped, and they all take time to work on. You know, it's easy to look at the finished product and just think that we just whipped it out like that, but it's more often than not not the case. Yeah, still open for font suggestions, by the way. So I'm just looking for something that's probably sans serif, I think, but has a little bit of fun to it. Curved edges, some doesn't have to be like perfectly corporate, you know. It's good to see you making little mistakes that we will undoubtedly make ourselves at some point. Yeah, exactly, David. There's the biggest thing with Illustrator that I've found is that, and you probably see this a lot on the streams if you watch regularly as well, is there's so many times that I come up against a problem and it's like, okay, this is a problem. I need to do this. How am I going to get around that? And so my brain is then thinking about all the different tools I know. And then I can, because I understand the different tools, I can use either one tool or combine tools together to think, right, this is how I'm going to get around this problem. Because, yeah, I mean, I've got a cut down toolbar here at the minute, but you can, of course, go to the advanced one. If I reset that, it will throw up like 70, I think there's about 70 to 80 different tools in there. And most of those are covered in the masterclass. So I think it just, you know, I know obviously like design is much more than tools and software, but when it comes to having an idea and actually being able to create it on screen digitally, that knowledge of the tools will give you an edge in bringing that design to life, so to speak. Yeah, I like that. It's just not playful enough. It's too serious. Need more fun. First time one. Sorry, I butchered that. Let me try again. First time joining one of your streams. I've learned a lot from your videos. Oh, thank you so much, Colton. That is amazing. Have you tried Berlin Sans? No, let's have a look. Berlin Sans. Ooh, okay. How does it look? Oh, I can type it actually. Luke's iced coffee. Nope, I can't spell. Let's try again. Oh. maybe let's give it a go. Let's get this bad boy installed. I've got a signature version as well. Very nice. Right, Berlin. So let's give it a go. It's got some interesting styles to it. Is it? Maybe, yeah. It's very similar to a lot of sans serif fonts, but it's just a little bit more playful. I'm not sure about the quality of the font. Some of the curves on the S's don't feel especially smooth, but that might not be too much of an issue. Yeah, we'll put that in the maybe pile for sure. Rubric. All right, let's type Luke's iced coffee. There we go. Go on then, let's add the family. Let's give it a go. New rubric. Let's go for a bolder weight. Oh, that is very... That's the same font. That's funny. That's the one I'm using. Great suggestion. I like it. In the latest version of Illustrator, the protrusions and bevels in the 3D effect cannot directly expand in the appearance to form a path. Okay. So go on a slight 3D tangent. So there's a couple of different ways to work with 3D in Illustrator. We've got the new... Are you referring to the new 3D features? So what was it? Extrude and protrusions and bevels. Okay, let's open it up. Nice. Yeah. So what do we want? Bevel. Let's do like a round bevel, something subtle. Round. There we go. They can't be expanded to form a path. Right. So bevel both sides. To move that panel up, I can't even fit the entire panel on here. It's that giant. So there's expand. I can't move it up anymore. Okay. There we go. Expand as wireframes. Yeah, so I mean, as you can see there, it's not ideal. Hasn't kind of captured those rounded corners, but you should be able to use the option expand as wireframes. You could go expand appearance. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't really use the new 3D features. I think they're great if you want to quickly create 3D effortlessly with very little 3D experience, or if you've got a 2D design. Let's say you've done some beautiful lettering and you're like, let's just see what this looks like in 3D, or turn it into a 3D design. That it's great. You've got lots of sliders here to tinker with everything, and you can turn on the ray tracing and it makes it look all nice and the lighting beautiful and everything. But it does have its limitations. So if you can't create the 3D effect that you are looking for within this panel and these different tabs, you've kind of hit your limitations, and it doesn't smoothly expand so you could continue working on it. So what I would do personally is I would go to Effect. I would actually use the old 3D features. Slightly different interface and doesn't have ray tracing and all that. But what I would do is, you can still rotate things. You can still adjust the extrusion. Not like that, that's awful. You've got bevel settings and things as well. But what I would do with this personally is, so I would choose... You could choose plastic shading, but personally I would go with no shading. Of course, it looks like that, which isn't ideal, but using these classic 3D features, I can expand that shape and it will expand the 3D object. And if I then just ungroup it, I've now got this as three, ungroup it a few times. There we go. I've got that as three separate shapes. And it's just a lot easier for me to do that than to do it with the newer 3D features. So now, for example, I could go and apply different colors there. Let's copy that. Add a gradient, rotate it round. Paste in that same orange color on both sides. Maybe lighten up one side. Do you see what I mean? So I'm sort of... That's how I would do it, because then you get all of the different pieces of the 3D element, and you can apply things like gradients to the individual pieces and still create great looking 3D. In the course, there's I think it's there's a few different examples I demonstrate. One of them is a Game Boy, like an old school Game Boy Color, and we create that using the 3D Classic. We set it all like isometric and everything, and then I do exactly what I just explained, in that I'll expand it and then start adding gradients and colors for the lighting and the shadows, rather than using the 3D to generate the lighting and shadows itself. So I just basically use the classic 3D to kind of create the 3D-ness to everything. Then I kind of just use gradients and colors to apply a 3D effect. Does that make sense? Because now what I can do is I can pull all of these apart. I can pull all these edges apart. These are all just regular shapes now. So if I wanted to kind of, tinker with things, I can now do that. Whereas with the new 3D panel, I'm kind of constrained to that suite of settings. I can't go in and work with this like a regular shape, Hopefully that that helps you with your question, Cheetah. Hey, Tanvir, good to see you. Oh, it's been forever, man. How you doing? Always great watching your stream. Thank you. Hey, you are very welcome. The Ink-Inspired Life. What's your name? If you don't mind sharing your name, I'd love to know. I always like to get to know people by their name. But if you'd rather just go with the username, I can read that as well. Absolutely fine. I'm trying to remember as many different names as I can. Yeah, it's been long. Wish exams weren't a thing. I think there's a few people doing exams at the moment. Doing great. How about you? Oh, very good. Thank you, Tanvir. If you've just joined, I mentioned earlier that I'm moving office in the next few weeks to a month. So it won't change much of what you see. There'll still be like a lovely backdrop or whatever, and I'll still be streaming, but I will have to get everything set up and looking nice and shiny. Yeah, it's going to be good. Submit one of your 3D works to the next stream. Oh, that'd be interesting. My name is Jason. Excellent. Jason. Right. Do you know what? I think I'm going to keep it with this one. The only thing I'm not 100% on is the apostrophe. Because I did custom draw this. What's the original one like? Luke. I mean, does it need an apostrophe? Oh, I hate apostrophes in logos. I don't like them. I mean, what do you think? Do you think the custom apostrophe, or do you think I should just keep the one from the font because it sort of fits the styling? Or am I overthinking it? Do I need to get some sunlight and touch grass? Grass. I know. Grass. Who needs that? Overrated, right? Bring the baseline up on the apostrophe. Oh, do you know, I'm kind of leaning more towards the original actually. I know I kind of wanted mine looking like that, but yeah, I can't help but feel that this one just fits the style with the letters a bit more. I could shift it up for sure. I think it, although the way it kind of sits at that height, it does tuck in quite nicely with the cap height. It does kind of. Let's try it though. Let's just try nudging it up a bit. Where are we going? Baseline shift. If you've never used baseline shift before, you can find all these extra options under here with the 3 dots. Loads of different character settings, and baseline shift is one that's good for just moving individual characters or multiple characters above or below the baseline. The baseline is this line here. This is effectively the line that the text sits on. And this way it kind of still keeps it editable. So if I were to go and change the font, for example, you know, just makes it a lot easier. And I think yeah, I might have to adjust the kerning. Just bring that S in a bit. There we go. There we go. Leave it alone, Dan. Leave it alone. Do you know? I feel like that might be the font actually. Right, where are we going now, Dan? We're going to go up here. And then what are we doing? We are rotating. Don't forget that. I've got to rotate 16 degrees. Tricky one because it's an interesting shape. It kind of tapers in at the bottom. We got the kind of dome shape at the top and the straw. What do you align to? Because if I align to the whole thing overall, factoring in the straw, it would probably position the text somewhere like that, which I don't know, kind of feels a bit high. So I feel like I need to align it to the body of the drinks icon rather than the total height. And how would this look if I did like a single line one? What do we got? Luke's asked coffee. Yeah, so it's got some flexibility. You know, it could work on a single line if it had to. I'm sure we could stack it as well. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe we'll center that. Oops, not like that. Centrally align. Doesn't stack as well. But then could just put it in a circle. I don't know. Not sure if the circle is necessary or not. The thing with the circle is what it does is, you know, as you can see here, it makes it very difficult to kind of centrally align everything because this is rotated. But as soon as I introduce another element, a container of sorts, I can get away with aligning the text to that circle. And because there's another structure now, there's another shape in between the cup and the text, you get away with it a little bit more. Whereas if I remove that, you can see it's like just floating on the wonk in no man's land. But that way you can kind of, becomes more acceptable. I mean, I don't know. Don't know if it really adds anything to the others. This is probably the main use for the logo. I think that's probably the main way it would be used. But it's important to consider this sort of flexibility. You can just draw all the grass you need in Illustrator. Exactly. Who needs to go outside? Jason says, I feel inspired to want to spend more time with AI. I'm watching now during my prep period. I teach high school architecture and CAD. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Illustrator's very, very versatile. There's so much you can do with it for different types of design. You can go from business cards to illustration, to logos, to signage, to all sorts. No, I think I was just a bit funny about the original apostrophe. That was 3 streams ago now, though. Now I'm looking at it, I'm kind of thinking, actually, maybe it was fine, and I was just being a bit fussy or a bit picky. It's okay. After Effects and Blender, they are both beasts. Maybe that font could be thicker if it has a bolder version. Do you know, I don't know if it does. No, extra bold is the maximum. It does have a lighter one though. I think I might have forgotten that. So, oh, hang on. Yeah, so maybe not an outlined version of the font like that. But instead, what about a lighter weight for Luke, which then leans into the lighter weight being used here? I think that is the one. Or maybe the other way around? I don't know. Come on, Luke. You're coming with me. Get over here. Right, there we go. Right, we'll try extra bold, and then we'll flip that round to, what was that? Or let's just have the original. Yeah, so 3 different versions there. I'm not feeling the left one. I'm just, yeah, gut instinct. I'm going to get rid of that. These two. You know what's coming. There we go. Which one would you go for if you had to right now? Gut instinct. Looks good with the circle. Okay. Jason likes the circle. Have you thought of a little spiral inside the circle in the glass? Yeah, Sema, I did have a swirl before. Kind of that was meant to represent the delicious coffee drink, but as soon as the ice came in, that of course got pushed out. Okay, Chris, I love the lighter weight typefaces, maybe iced coffee being lighter. I like the bold Luke. Yeah, I think for me, the iced coffee is the sort of the business, and it just needs to be more prominent. I think that's the important bit. So when on the other design, iced coffee was lighter, it felt too light for what the product is and what is being offered to potentially customers. How can I vote both? Create a separate YouTube account and join the stream again. There you go. At smaller size, Luke's would be hard to see. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. It might be a case of we could still do this, but I might just need to bump the weight up a little bit. What is this at the minute? This is light. So it might just need a bump up to regular, or but that's the kind of thing that, you know, I could mock that up, look at it from a zoomed out view. Yeah. It might be all right. It's the kind of thing you'd really need to sort of properly test in situ to see. Need to run. Thank you for all the inspo. Looking great so far. Till the next one. Thank you so much, Zayad. See you later. This is close, though. 58% for number 2. It's very close. Yeah, it's a difficult one, that is. I feel like as well with the logo mark, I feel like it's ticking a lot of boxes. You know, it's showing the product in its entirety as a drink. It's got the ice for iced coffee. We've got the coffee bean on there, but it's not overly like intrusive. It kind of doesn't, the coffee bean doesn't take too much attention. So I feel like this mark actually encapsulates just a lot of what this business is about, which is of course iced coffee. And it's got some personality, which kind of, I think on the first stream it was intended to be like a shack, like more of like a local business. Luke's Iced Coffee, it's obviously not like a huge chain. So the illustration, it kind of has some personality and a bit of character to it. Oh yeah, I mean, we haven't even got to colors. Like I started playing with color in the other streams, but obviously now the design has pivoted so much. How this is going to be colored up is I'm not sure. Might end up being a single color. I have to look at a palette for this, because this is all kind of, all the black is connected now. So I don't know. Oh, cheers, Zach. Catch you later. Good Sav. Hey, Dan. Great job in this logo. Thank you. This has definitely been a team effort. Definitely a team effort. There's no way I'm taking credit for this. We've worked on this for like 3 streams now. I think according to Reese, it was 3 streams now. So yeah, we're getting there though. Ali says, I feel like Luke's is too light. Might be hard to read when small. Yeah, again, that's a good point. Yeah, I think 2 looks to be the more popular one. How many votes have we got, actually? Let's have a look. 44, yeah. Close. And we haven't even got to color, so we could play around with color when it comes to making sure that Luke's is legible, particularly at smaller sizes. Okay, let's end that one there at 61%. So 2 is the more popular one. Not by a huge amount though. So Yeah, I think if it was a total landslide, one way or the other, I would have. I'd roll with it. Like, yeah, there's something about having it in this lighter weight that definitely connects more to the graphic. But yeah, of course, you've got to consider legibility and how it mocks up. So I think what I would probably do at this point is I would take both of these. I don't know where I'm going to go. Oh, look at this inefficient use of space. What on earth is this, Dan? Goodness, look at all this. Right, hang on. We need to reorganize. This is terrible. There we go. Let's just... I like to keep everything just because, you know, you never know what you're going to end up referring back to. Yeah, let's dump that up there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is probably take both of these forward and just start having a play with color and see where we get to. Because I do like the way this has the lighter weight, but, you know, does it work? Or is it going to work at that small size? I don't know. Let's try it anyway. Let's try it first of all. Right, the first thing is going to be we've got to fix this because that is, of course, an absolute mess. So, as you'll see here, as soon as I throw a color behind it, you can start to see the problems. So let's throw like a very contrasty blue and lock that layer. So now I've got to expand everything. Just keep expanding until it won't let you expand anymore. And now we've made it even more complicated. The goal now is to separate the black and the white. So, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to use the shape builder tool to cut out some of these bits first. Then let's, in fact, actually, if I use the shape builder tool, Alt Option and click and drag to subtract, we'll cut out all the bits that I need to cut out. So in this case, it's a lot of white. And the shape builder tool is great because it's perfect for combining shapes and cutting them out from one another in a much more intricate way. Like with the Pathfinder panel, they're good for working on big blocks. So you can combine large blocks of stuff in one go. But the Pathfinder panel, as you can see here, I mean, the amount of paths I've got is just an absolute mess. So I can very kind of intricately go in like a scalpel and determine what I need to cut out. Now I've removed all the white. You can see I'm left with all this, but this is where the Pathfinder panel is different. I could go in with the shape builder tool and intricately, you know, combine everything. But if I just click unite, it just boom. Look at that. It goes from this to that in a second. Super simple. And now that is just one single object. And is that a random anchor point there or something? No? Okay. So that's now cut out successfully, and I can unlock that and get rid of the blue. And I know that this is good. So now I can apply a color to this. The way to check that this is done correctly is if you click on this and you have a question mark here, it means you've got a mix of colors. And if you've got question marks and strokes here, then you need to go back and expand everything. So you want to keep expanding until you only are working with fills in this instance. And then now I can double click this and pick any color I like. That's how you know you've correctly expanded it into a single color. I voted for 1, but now I think I prefer 2. Yeah, it's get the red pen out. Hey, Raquel, good to see you again. Hola, indeed. Yeah, I think I would probably experiment with both of them. You know, now I've done the the mark, which is the same on both. You know, I can play around with color on the two different versions of the lettering quite easily. What size artboard are you using? 9,000 pixels squared, and I'm running out of space. Now this has progressed since you were just doing the text when I was here. Yeah, Dan, this is like the third stream now, I think, and it's definitely coming on. It's definitely coming on. So Utsav, what you do is, yeah, if I've got loads of shapes here, look at these lovely shapes, fantastic. And you want to see like a styleless wireframe without any fill colors and things like that, go to view and outline, Command or Control Y. You get the styleless wireframe, and then Command or Control Y to hop back out. Great way to kind of go in, as you probably just saw then, and combine shapes with the shape builder tool and figure out problems is probably the best way to put it. It's very useful for that. Okay, so we've gone from this absolute mess over here. I'll still keep that because it is editable if I need to go back to it, but this is the final version. And I think I had some colors before. Let's see if these still work. Might look awful. Where are they? Browns. Bit too brown. Misery brown. We need like a nice bit more red in there, I think, and maybe a bit lighter as well. Yes, that is much nicer. And we could, I don't know, we could use the live paint bucket tool to add like a bit of color maybe. I don't know. What do you think to that? That was a little bit off the cuff, I'll be honest, but I mean, it could work. No, so what I wouldn't do. Okay, so this is why I wouldn't do a stroke like this. If I swap this around, at the moment the stroke is aligned to the center. So as you can see now, it bulges. Hang on, sorry, let me get rid of that one. Yeah, so now I've turned it into a stroke. It bulges outside of the other letters. So I'd have to kind of adjust the size and mess around with it. Outline, same again. So I'd have to go to inside. And now I could kind of line all this up, but then having strokes on the inside does cut into the letters somewhat. And I don't think it looks as nice personally. Again, you know, shouldn't rule it out. It wouldn't be right to rule it out. Yeah, see, it looks much nicer on the outside. I mean, I don't know. I suppose something we could do. Mustn't rule these ideas out, Dan. Combine that together. Oh, that's a horrible gap. Oh, this is going to mess up the kerning. I don't like that gap there, so I'm going to have to do that, but I don't know if that boggles up the kerning. Unless I move all of the letters closer together. Maybe one can get away with it. Let's try. Something like that. Well, let's try it and see what you guys think. So stick a copy up there, combine it. Live paint bucket tool. Where's my delicious caramelly color gone? Bring it down, and then I'll just have to line it up manually. Don't know. I'd love to see a very light frozen blue against that yummy brown. What you mean, like a light blue as the background? Yummy. I love that, Raquel. A yummy blue. Delicious blue. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everything so far. Well, not everything, but a lot of it so far. A lot of the work has been black and white. Now it's like, oh yeah, you remember colors, Dan? Yeah, they exist. Have fun. um, hmm. Luke's. Oh, actually, sorry. I got rid of it. Where's it gone? Here we go. Let's bring that one over because I played around with the kerning of the apostrophe. And I do not want to be doing that again. Right. So let's try Luke in the darker color because that's thinner, so it'll be harder to read. Then iced coffee in the lighter color. Yuck, that looks disgusting. Nope. I don't think this is gonna. I mean, that looks better, but yeah, Mike is gonna blow the whistle on that. Accessibility police are gonna be knocking on the door very, very quickly, I imagine. Jason says this is looking cool. Excellent. Okay, I feel like we are getting there. Light blue. Let's. Was that for the background color? Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. Yeah, let's play around with the background color. Where's my color? What's it? There we go. All right. Let's try a few different colors. And then on this, probably need two. Huh. Yeah, it's tricky. Which color do I probably have to keep the ice cubes all iced coffeeed up. Straw. The straw doesn't blend now. It blended quite nicely before, and now it doesn't blend, obviously. That's not the end of the world. Oh, hang on. I've mucked something up. Yeah, I've messed something up. That should have been a gap there. Ha. I have brokes it. Okay, so I would need to go and do that again. I'd need to do the old expanding thing again. So the straw, yeah, the straw would blend. Yeah, it just doesn't there because I did it wrong. Bad Dan. But yeah, there's a bit we could do here. There's a few things we could do. We could, what could we do? We could make that a darker brown in there. So if I just select this brown, and we'll change over to HSB, which is hue, saturation, and brightness. Go with a darker brown. Pop that in there as kind of like a shadow, maybe. You're not to, yeah, there we go. And then the straw, we could make that red. I feel like we had a red straw before. Just so we get something else in there. Yeah, that could be a way to get another color in there. If I wanted to do that, you know, and then Luke's could be red, for example. But as you can see, this is adding color now is its own sort of, it's a whole different kettle of fish, as the saying goes. Can you select iced coffee and the word coffee last E aligns with the S in Luke? No, I don't think so. I'd have to shrink it down like that, and then you kind of get different sizes, which I'd probably want to try and avoid. I don't know why, but that iced coffee is, I'm not sure if it's like a school tie or something. It's giving me Harry Potter vibes. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I know that probably sounds mental. I don't know. Do they have ties in Harry Potter? Like, I'm just thinking of like the school tie. You know, it's stripes, and Gryffindor, was that red or like orange? I don't know. Maybe it's time to touch grass or draw grass or something related to grass. Isn't it incredible the amount of time that can be spent on a logo? If it's creation time that clients don't always appreciate. Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you later, Leo. George is around my house. He's my best friend. Ah. Are they having fun together? Yeah, sometimes logos. This is definitely, in terms of the streams anyway, Jason, this one's definitely one of the longer ones. I think the only other logo that took 3-4 streams or something to get to like a really kind of finished point with a bit of time from me at home as well was the Peace for Mankind logo with the dove. And I think, you know, obviously when you're doing this live and you're trying to talk through your process and chat and everything, I think it definitely does take some of your, like, I don't know, creative brain power to kind of manage that and design at the same time. I always find that, like, I'll produce something on the stream, and then when I sit down in the evening on my own, just at home, suddenly I get more ideas kind of flowing. And not all the time, but sometimes it's just something that I've noticed, and that's probably because 100% of my brain is like focused on just a logo. Do you know what I mean? Whereas streaming, you're kind of like multitasking. If it's iced coffee, maybe the frozen blue would be nice for the coffee bean. Yeah, or I don't know. It's a tricky one. Normally, I would say the blue would be the ice, but then you want the coffee color there as well. You don't want the ice to be, sorry, the drink to be blue necessarily, and that opening kind of means that I need to pick a color here. So I think by doing this kind of style, it looks cool and everything, and we're sort of using negative space to cut out bits from the logo. But on the other hand, I've kind of pigeonholed myself a little bit with the types of styles now that I can do. You know, I can't, I just show you the other one, so I kind of show you what I'm talking about. If I just grab this one down here. You see on this design here that's a bit earlier, I was able to kind of, it was quite linear, the graphic, so I was able to just add in block colors to different bits, whereas a lot of this one is all connected. That main base brown color connects everything on the graphic. So I kind of, I mean, it's pretty cool seeing where it's, I feel like this was fine, but this is heading towards being a proper, more professional logo, I think. Red and white for the straw, or brown and white, I think. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be red, Paul. The red was just really to kind of add in a contrasting accent color. Could be anything. It could be orange. Maybe that'd be quite nice, actually. Orange or blue. Something that just gives me another color that will make, well, Luke's stand out in a particular color, which is nice. But also it just gives it a more distinct identity. You know, a lot of iced coffee logos, if you go on Google and type in iced coffee logo, you get the browns and the caramel colors. Everything that I've done here, it's been done before. So I think I would probably be looking at using an accent color to just add that into the palette and help it stand out a bit more. Yeah, Tammy, design review will probably be next Wednesday. We did design review yesterday, but it was for CVs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clone myself at this point, I think. Right, cool. I think I'm going to leave that one there for today. Yeah, might play around with some colors a bit more. This is the kind of thing that's, yeah, it's very kind of fiddly. There's not a lot of new stuff that's going to be added to that. It's just going to be literally playing with very specific shades of brown and colors and things and that. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, I'm going to carry on tinkering with that one in the background and see where it ends up. But before I do finish, this is a link to my full Adobe Illustrator Masterclass. I can't believe we've had 2 people enroll in the class live on stream today. That's been amazing. So yeah, thank you so much, Adam and Chris, for that. That was amazing. And here is a link to receive 15% off if you are interested. And essentially, it will take you from a complete beginner all the way through to just knowing Illustrator pretty much inside and out. There's a bazillion different tools, much more than this. There's about 70 to 80 tools in that toolbar on the left, and the course will cover almost all of them. And that's how you're able to see me kind of moving around so quickly. It's just knowing what tools to use to solve what tools to use to solve what problem. And I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts as well. And yeah, so if you want to just learn Illustrator in about, well, with 6 to 7 hours worth of video, instead of spending years learning it manually and not knowing if you've made mistakes or whatever, you just want that structured training from someone who's been using it for 17 years that will take you from here all the way through to here. That is the course. And of course, with that, you get support from me. So, you know, I'm going to always be on hand to support you if you get stuck. So, yeah, there's the course. That's the link for the discount code. And I'm just going to read a few more comments. And then I'm going to go and get some dinner. Yeah, the kerning between the U and the K might be off, Kevin. This is just coming from the font kind of as it is. So, of course, depending on where you get the font might determine the quality of it. Sometimes free fonts don't have that same professional touch as the fonts from like places like Envato Elements or paid fonts. It depends. So yeah, I might need to manually, once I'm kind of happy with the general concept, go in here and just double check all the kerning and manually tweak things if I need to. Portfolio review. I mean, we haven't done a portfolio review yet, Utsav, but that's it's not something that I'm averse to doing. We can do that if that's what people would like to see. Thank you, Adam. Working my way through your class, it's awesome. Oh, amazing. Thank you for putting it together. That takes a lot of time and work, friend. Yeah, Chris, it took me like 6 months to make, literally obsessing over it. And for that course, so the way I kind of make a lot of my content and that course is I record the screen capture for everything. I chop it up into hundreds, actually, well, in total, thousands of different clips. I fine tune the timing of every single clip. And then once the whole thing has had all the fat trimmed off, then I record the voiceover. And I had to record something like 15,000 plus lines of voiceover for the course. And many of those lines took more than one take, because if I explained something and I wasn't happy with how I'd explained it, I would just kind of cut it and retake it. 15,000 plus lines of dialogue. Yeah. Took me a while. Josie, do you have a live tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. I'm taking tomorrow off to relax and play Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm gonna take some time off and just chill. Great stream. Catch you next time. Oh, thank you so much, David. I presume you mean you cannot wait to get into it. I read that as I cannot get into it. I was like, if you can't get into it, Chris, honestly, send me a message. Something's gone wrong. Illustrator's crazy like that. I find something new and obvious every day after 20 plus years of using it. Yeah, I think that's why these streams are amazing as well, because we all get to share ideas. You know, we've got people with loads of experience and people coming in who have never used Illustrator before. And we do just, you know, oh, that's funny, Chris. Yeah, and we do just kind of share ideas, and I think a lot of the Adobe apps, it's going to be probably impossible to learn them in their entirety, because there's just millions of different ways you could combine different tools together. Like the possibilities are quite literally limited. However, once you have a fundamental understanding of each of the different tools and the features and any effects and things, you're then able to think, okay, if I combine this one with this one, I can create this one. You know, I can create that effect. You combine A with D and you create F. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's the kind of thing that you just you learn more as you go, and you just become more familiar with it. I'll buy the course soon. I'm ecstatic. Oh, amazing, Andrea. I would love to have you in the course. That'd be so cool. The course is bloody brilliant. Yeah, but Poppy, you would say that because you're biased. I mean, sorry. Thank you, Poppy. That's very kind of you. I like you, bro. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Right, I'm going to shoot off. Have an amazing day, an amazing rest of your week. And yeah, I'll see you next week for design review or resume review, whatever you'd like to see. So if you would like to see reviews of anything in particular, you know, just comment on the videos and just let me know. I always read the YouTube comments, and yeah, we can just review everything design related. Whew, okay, good stream. Right, cool. I'm going to shoot now. Have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.